about. Tell me what you were talking about.
was talking about that Clayface wouldn't work in the Batman unless it was supernatural because it would have okay. I feel like every major, at least every major Batman villain, and of course Batman himself, kind of followed I don't want to say a trope, but just they followed a template for I say horror.
Okay.
Batman is like basically I guess however Gotham sees him is how we saw him in the movie.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Should I bring up my idea for Professor Pig since we were talking about it before I started the podcast?
Sure.
So I was thinking that Professor Pig should be the main villain. I was talking to Cool Dog about this, which you know him as Big Tubby. Go show his channel some love, people. I've known this man for years. Go show him some love. But he's not live right now, but go still check out his channel, please. Anyways, so I was thinking Professor Pig should be the main villain because every Batman villain in every way has a revelation or a opposite reflection of what Batman could be in some way. So I was thinking, if you know who Professor Pig is, he's in Arkham Knight. He's a psychopath that is trying to make perfection out of people by molding them with different parts of bodies, whatever, in the most gruesome way possible, turning them into his puppets. Tell me if I described him the best way I could in a summary.
No, you did.
All right, that's good. I just want to double check. So basically, that's Professor Pig. And if they could take that, put him in a movie, and the thing is, we were talking about how the Batman, the first movie, it was back in 2022. We're not talking about 2004. If they took the Batman and took the vibe of this horror aspect that they have with and put it into the second movie, and then if you take Professor Pig, make it and of course make the detective aspects in the movie because Batman's not really much of Batman without detective. And
it would be cool to see Batman in a cadaver lab.
It would. And then basically if you have Batman investigate each crime scene of Professor Pig's like Dollatrons, and each time he goes to a crime scene as he investigates, there's a Dollatron, and you'll see the very first Dollatron into the last crime scene. Professor Pig is close to making a perfect Dollatron and getting what he wants. And as we see that, Batman is more and more exploring his identity as Bruce Wayne and what he could do for the city. So as Professor Pig is perfecting the perfect Dollatron, Batman could be perfecting the perfect identity for Bruce Wayne. And you get to see that more and more as he investigates each crime and goes out as Bruce Wayne, I feel like. I feel like that would be a great movie, in my opinion. I'm a little bit biased on that idea, but I think that would be great. Now, my other idea, what I was going to talk about, another villain, Harley Quinn. Not the one from the animated series, not the one from the comics, not the one from anything that is new. I think the Harley Quinn from the Caped Crusader, and I might be the only one with this opinion, but I think she's an interesting character, and if you take that, and here's the thing, here's another one that explores identity, because if you think about it, at the end of the Batman realizes that he needs to be more than vengeance, and he needs to be a symbol outside of vengeance. So using Brute, and I think the next movie needs to be about forming an identity. So, and I think if you take the Caped Crusader episode where Harley Quinn is basically, and if you haven't watched the show, spoiler alert, it's been out for a while. I'm gonna kind of just spoil it. And I'm gonna summarize it real quick because I don't have the whole time to go over the plot, but Harley Quinn, basically in that whole episode, explores the identity of, like, each rich person, and she's a therapist. Now, you don't have to take the therapist idea. I mean, it would be nice, whatever, it'd be a core aspect of her character, but they did something different than the usual character, and they took this character that, and I think instead of, like, having her just go after the rich that are abusing their fellow man, instead what they should do is she could do this to anyone no matter who they are. I feel like the best thing about Batman villains, and I don't know if you agree with me, Cool Dog, but yeah.
No, I'm sorry, I yawned.
I don't know if you agree with me, but I think the best thing about Batman villains is that they can do anything to anyone. Like you can expect these villains to do anything to anyone. And I think what they should have done with Harley Quinn and Cape Crusader is not just go after rich people, but even the poor people. I think she should have what is it? Blackmailed poor people or like manipulated the poor into her fellow sociopaths or whatever, like she did it near the end with the rich. And I don't know, and she could become obsessed with the idea of being someone that's training people's minds to perfection. Something, I don't know. And as she's forming her identity as Harley Quinn, going from a therapist to obsession, she could become slowly obsessed with Batman as an identity. And I think it would be better to go down the horror route, but also you can go down the psychological horror route, I feel like, with her. I can't explain the idea of how Harley Quinn would work, but I feel like if they go with the approach from Cape Crusader, there's definitely a horror element to it, because I feel like I get like a creep vibe that she is collecting these like people, trapping them, and slowly mentally breaking them. Like, you can't tell me that's not scary.
Yeah.
You can speak now. Sorry, I yapped too much, man.
Good.
But like,
I think that would be a good idea, but I just the idea of drawing parallels between two characters has to be, or this situation would be best if they're what the heck?
everything good, man.
I'm thinking out of thing. Basically, it would be best if you're trying to point out the similarities between characters. If I'm saying that right.
I mean, yeah, that is true.
Like, because I believe Professor Pig could work, but I would see him mostly as like I'd say like the mastermind kind of character.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, but then again, because honestly, I'm not trying to shoot down your ideas. I'm trying to put it together.
No, that's fine, man. That's fine. I don't mind that. Actually, we're having a conversation. It's fine, man.
Because they did the thing with Riddler, and they did it really well. Like they made Riddler to be more like they made him to be more of a threat than we ever thought him to be, just from what he did, like the plans that he made. He showed, and I guess the if they go with trying to make a villain be like a horror trope, or just I guess make a villain off of a type of horror. I feel like if it's supernatural, then someone like Clayface would work good, or someone like okay. What inspired me to think about this is, do you ever think about the what do you call it?
I'm trying to think what you're talking about, man.
Can you see the thing of like, what if a villain was this, or like what if it was horror instead?
You want to know something? Actually, so I was kind of watching a lot of Mr. Freeze stuff at one point. I don't know why I go through these small phases, but anyways, this was the nerd side of me doing this shit. But I was actually watching this Mr. Freeze video, and this guy was going through a comic, and basically it was Robin talking to Mr. Freeze, and he's like, you lie, and this is, I'm gonna try to quote it word for word and go like, and it's not really that long, but I'm gonna try to explain what happened into it. But basically, Robin was talking to Freeze, and if they wanted to go down a horror route, this is the best way. And it's a comic, actually. I don't know the name of the comic, I would have to figure it out. But anyways, basically, Robin is like, you lied, Freeze. There was never a cure for Nora. You knew there was never a cure for her. You wanted to trap her because you wanted to keep her all to yourself. You wanted her to stay away from everyone. You wanted her to stay home. And They could do that. That's an actual comic, and it's actually a good comic too. I was like, that's actually good storytelling. And basically, he trapped her and encased her in ice because he didn't want her going anywhere. He ended up not trusting her, and he wanted her to stay with him. That's why at least in that comic, he froze her to keep her. So if they were to go down a horror route, then they could go down a route of, and because with Mr. Freeze it would be hard, but taking that story, they could probably do it. It's just I don't know if it can be as emotional because Mr. Freeze is a very emotional character when you think about it. So, and you can't go down the route where they did the Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Is there anywhere left that ain't been looted? To be honest, what I think. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I was just making a joke. They can't go down the route like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No.
What? The thing before that?
I was saying, like, I feel like the best way. Like, if they're trying to go for a different type of horror, then yeah, it might be. I feel like it might be too extreme for a Batman media or for a Batman story, but I feel like it would also be like fucking sick. Excuse me, by the way, but it would be sick. Have you ever seen it was a 40 groups of Black Label DC Black Label comic? I can't remember what the name was. But it had to do with Batman and Killer Croc.
I've seen some Batman and Killer Croc stories, but I don't think I have, man. Seen that one, the one you're talking about. Can you describe to me what the story was?
Killer Croc or comic. This one. I'm trying to figure out what it was. Because it was almost disturbing. Batman Reptilia.
Batman Reptilian?
Basically, it's where, how do I describe it? Basically, it's where, like, Killer Croc kind of gave birth to a alien monster.
I feel like... Is that the story you're talking about? Because I feel like that's a little out of the ground area.
Oh, yeah. That's completely ungrounded. Like, this is talking about if they decide to go, like, the supernatural.
I don't think they will because, I mean, the thing is, I would love to see, like, one of my favorite female villains in it, Poison Ivy. I would love to see Poison Ivy done better than because there's many stories they could tell, and maybe one of the stories they can tell with Poison Ivy is not the seductress type of story, but they could go, because I remember there's this one story where she's just trying to get away from humanity, and instead of causing trouble, she's trying to stay away from them, and they keep on bothering her. And it would be, I feel like they could either do an emotional story or they could do a horror story. I feel like they could only go two routes with a grounded Batman.
I feel like Poison Ivy could be done different. Well, I don't know. The type threat of Poison Ivy is like
eco-terrorists.
That makes her like a really powerful individual.
Yeah. Well, it depends which version of Poison Ivy they could do, because remember, the first animated series one, she wasn't superpowered. At least the first one. And then even when she had like plants that she could control, she personally made them. She didn't have powers. So I feel like you can still do a Poison Ivy story. You just need to have I feel like for the Batman, it can't be something like her typical seductress, you know? I don't think, unless, the only thing is, I guess it could be that, and it could be how Batman would deal with a situation of temptation. But we've seen that with Catwoman. That's the only thing. We've seen that with Catwoman. We've seen how he would handle that. Wait, have we? Really? Wait, I gotta think about that, actually. It's been a while since I've seen the Batman. I'm trying to think.
One nasty
Did he have to deal with a situation of temptation with Catwoman?
Yeah, they kissed.
Well, they kissed, but was there like a situation where she was trying to seduce him?
I don't think so.
Because I know there's been times where Catwoman.
I don't know if they kissed in the Batman.
I don't think they did. I think she was leaving Gotham and Batman, and they did the whole Telltale thing. Remember?
They were off together.
What?
They were off. Batman and the set off.
Oh yeah, no, he rode with her, and then eventually they split ways.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a moment of temptation. I feel like this Batman is well resistant. So I don't know if I don't know if I want, like, as much as I'm not gonna lie, as much as I like the Poison Ivy, like, horny temptation stories, I don't think for the Batman they should go down that route if they use Poison Ivy. In my opinion, I think they have to do more of a different storytelling with Poison Ivy than some type of seductress route, because I feel like for the Batman it just doesn't work, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but at the same time I don't know if we really want another repeat of Batman and Robin. So it's like they could definitely do a different storytelling of Poison Ivy. And not only that, but as you watch the animated series, her story got more sad, so I feel like they could do more of a emotional story.
Okay. Yeah, I did want to finish my thought.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
The idea was if they wanted to do something scary. Wait, was Batman? Batman was rated PG-13, wasn't it?
I don't. The thing is, it doesn't feel like a PG-13 movie.
No, it feels a lot. Wait, never mind.
But here's the thing. They sold toys.
So Batman, a PG-13 movie.
They sold toys.
They say the film is intended to people 13 over due to violence and action sequences, grotesque content, and language. These selections are the strong disturbing violent content, including some horrible, strong language, some suggestive content and drug violence. The this movie is 13, mature 13 plus on some people.
I don't. Okay, here's the thing. I think it is PG-13 because they sold kid action figures from Spin Master. And Spin Master is a toy company for... What?
They sold Legos for crying out loud.
Well, the Legos were more of a collector's piece, I think. But...
Okay, Will Ferrell.
What?
Okay, Will Ferrell from the movie.
Why are you calling me Will Ferrell?
Your little business.
Bro, what? Alright, bro. No, I mean, I just meant, like, I think the sets that they sold were more of a collector's piece. And they sold Spin Master, which Spin Master, I mean, they also sold McFarlane, but McFarlane's the collector, and Spin Master is the kid toys, so...
Oh, you're right. They sold a lot of toys.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't. The only thing is, what questions is, I don't think. I just for that Batman movie alone, I get why, because there's a lot of merchandise going into it. There's a lot of like selling, but holy shit, man, there's so much graphic shit in there that shouldn't, like, that a child probably shouldn't see. Like, wait a second, I just realized something. Did you notice that the Riddler never got a Spin Master action figure?
No.
Wait, can you look it up? Can you look it up just to be sure? Because I'm pretty sure the Penguin got an action figure, Batman got an action figure, Catwoman got an action figure, even...
Dude, did you see the Penguin show? I did.
I never watched the Penguin show. I'm not that interested in watching it.
We should watch it.
Maybe. I would be down, actually. You know what we need to do? You know what we really need to do? We need to get my bad. We need to get Apogee to watch the animated series, man. Holy shit! The fact that he never experienced true greatness from the animated gods. Sorry if I'm like glazing, but the fact that he never watched the anime series kind of makes me mad. I'm like, bro, you existed this long, same age as me, and you never watched a really good Batman show, and you're a Batman fan. Not to be a dick, just come on. I'm not trying to be a dick, but it's a good Batman show. And not only that, it has like its own built universe, like its literal own built universe with like the Justice League and everything.
What does?
Batman the animated series.
Was Superman ever mentioned in the Batman?
No.
Um,
No, the thing is, the Batman, they said that it's going to be separate from the DCU. The DCU. It's going to be its own thing. That's what they said. I think that if they wanted, there's only a few stories I still think that the Batman like Part 2 could tell, and it's between Professor Pig if they want to still go down the horror route. It's I just feel like there's a few stories they can tell, just a few. I don't know if it's much, but there's only a few stories they can tell, in my opinion.
dude, speedrunning RPG is so funny. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah, it's all good. What other Batman villain? I still think, I mean, in a way, I kind of want to see that more of that Harley Quinn, but maybe.
Finish my thought.
What was your?
They decided to go to the type of horror that like really makes your skin crawl, but like be horror.
Man Bat. They could do Man Bat.
Man, that would be okay. They could go with like the typical Clayface Man Bat, something like that. But I think Mr. Freeze would, if they really took a different direction with Mr. Freeze, almost like a Jurassic Kids like 2004 did.
The only thing is the thing is, what are they gonna do with the whole Nora aspect? The reason why Mr. Freeze is a popular villain is because of his background with Nora Freeze and how emotional and tragic his story is. So I feel like going down that route, I don't know if they can really do it. I don't know if they can really do it in general. Because I don't think you can make Mr. Freeze a horror character unless you go down the idea of obsession. And I know that's what they did with the Riddler, because the Riddler kind of was obsessed with the idea of helping Batman, or at least thinking he was helping Batman. But if you think about it, I mean, most Batman villains have an obsession. So if you want, this obsession could be less with Batman and more with their core identity. So I feel like if we were to tell a scary story with Mr. Freeze, it could be his obsession with his wife and how he slowly just doesn't want her to leave. And it gets creepy. It gets creepy because there is weirdos in the world. Because if they're trying to go with a grounded Batman, there is weirdos in the world that do have a creepy obsession with their loved ones. There is. And taking a character like Mr. Freeze, they could do it. They could do it. And they don't have to copy Mr. Freeze down to the bone, but they can take his character and twist his origin story to fit the narrative of the world.
Yeah, and I feel like another way, like to tie the both of them together is to have the basically how some people do it with like the evolution of characters throughout a story is to have their outward appearance represent or resemble their twisted mindset. So eventually they become the monster they were inside.
Holy shit, you just gave me an idea. You literally just gave me a genius idea of how the plot could go. Because I remember I heard, and I'm not going to take credit for it fully because there was a YouTuber I watched a while back that talked about how Mr. Freeze could be adapted in the story. But what if if the idea of obsession was the most guideline a part of the story, and as Batman is still obsessed with being Batman, as he knows the light, as he knows he needs to adapt his identity as Bruce Wayne, him ignoring his responsibilities as Bruce Wayne causes Nora to either die, or and it's his carelessness as Bruce Wayne not noticing what he needs to do. And there's papers about how he could help, in a way, help Nora Freeze become better or help find a cure, and he ignores that, being Batman, taking the obsession, not, I would say, further, but in a way, still thinking that being Batman needs to be put over Bruce Wayne, even though he's still trying to find his identity as Bruce Wayne. And as he slowly realizes that, Mr. Freeze, eventually they meet up, and later on, Mr. Freeze will discuss that because of Wayne or whoever, is why he's doing this, and you can still have that emotional story, and it doesn't have to be a strong connection or anything, but it could just be the fact that Bruce realizes in shock, just like in that moment where he like started to have tears thinking that Riddler figured out his secret identity. Remember that moment where he was just in shock? Like he just was just standing there, shook? I can't remember if that was when he was...
He thought he really figured out his identity.
Yeah, and he was just completely shook. He was like, bro, like, I never... No, I don't think he did. But, like, Batman looked shook. Like, did you... Like, the way he was, like he had a bit of tears in his eye, he looked shook. And Batman could think again, and he could be like, I did it again, like, something like that, and he could, like, have a revelation moment, like, I need to start taking responsibility as Bruce Wayne as well. This is where I need to let this obsession go and let it be more than that, become both. Like, your idea of them becoming a monster, I like that, and I'm thinking they can play off of that with the idea of Batman still in a...
Hey, I did just... I'm sorry.
No, it's good. It's good. I think I was already done anyways. I think I was repeating a little bit.
I did actually think of something, a way that you could draw... Bringing it into a little bit of a circle, the way that you can draw a parallel between, let's say, a twisted villain, and Bruce Wayne is by a villain becoming more of the monster. That they, like, basically the villain, I'd say the villain starting out as more morally good than they were otherwise, and then Batman starting out more morally evil, and then as they progress, morally evil but morally incorrect in the situation.
Hey, give me an example of, like, how he would be morally incorrect.
Evolve to become what they truly are.
The only thing...
I believe that you run into something with the fact that, like, let's say Batman didn't help Nolan. Batman's obsession, or Bruce's obsession with being Batman, led him to being ignorant and he can help people with his wealth, and instead selfishly using that to fuel his nightly crusade. When instead he could have used some of those funds to,
save a life
or something like that. It just, I'd say Alfred would be a big catalyst to change Bruce's thinking throughout his story, but I do believe that would work. That would work for drawing those parallels and watching both sides of the coin change throughout the story would be by essentially, let's say, Freeze becoming more of a monster as Batman becomes more human.
I actually like that. The part about Alfred, I wanted to discuss that more, because you know what? You just made me think of Arkham Origins, and how near the end of Origins, or when they had that argument where Bruce still thinks he's more than just a regular man that could deal with all these assassins, and Alfred's trying to give him a reality check, telling him, you're a man, and you have to accept it. And in a way, I feel like in this movie, because I feel like in the first movie, Batman is realizing that he has to be a better symbol, but I think in this movie, instead of just being a symbol, he needs to realize that he can't be more than just this obsession. He has to be both. I mean, they do identify both, but in a way, they were talking about his symbolism more than his his identity. And I feel like in this movie, it addresses his identity.
He was one of the like this kind of like this was a counteract what actually like really happened in the story, but he was more of the mask than he was the man. Like he was Batman in that movie, and Bruce Wayne was nothing but a front.
And even if it was a front, the thing is, it wasn't really a good front, like most Batman interpretations you have seen.
Because that's the thing, is outside of basically how he version of with that version of Batman, there wasn't necessarily a Bruce Wayne, if you understand.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. He thought all he... And I think what
his true self throughout the whole story isn't like there isn't the Bruce Wayne doesn't have a mask.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne and Batman are literally the same exact person, and he's portrayed as that.
Yeah, that is true.
Bruce Wayne's the exact same when he has the mask on and off. You know, like he doesn't. Anything changed the way he acted towards people or anything like that. The only time we realized that he actually started to realize that his face has more influence is when he decided to go talk to Carmine Falcone as Bruce Wayne instead of Batman. We didn't consider it, but he decided to go talk to Falcone as Wayne because he then figured out that how much Falcone knows parents.
He realized that he could use more than fear.
He would go Falcone as Bruce.
And
also he was just down on his. He was just kind of down on his luck. I mean, I haven't watched the movie in a while.
I do remember that part. And he was like moping, and he was like, he was a bit sad or whatever. I know which part you're talking about.
That was the lowest point in the movie, and that was when he decided to go as himself.
You know what we need? You know what we need to do? We need
Batman, because I'd say with Batman in the movie, I had to put it. Batman is the mask, but it's not the mask as in it's not a false identity. It's like Batman is a mask that gives Bruce Wayne confidence.
That
and gives him essentially. Also, it gives him the fear tactic, or basically gives him. It inspires feeling criminals that he needs to do what he can, because, I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
The Batman 2021 just gives Bruce Wayne confidence. That's all that it truly does.
It kind of reminds me of, like, there's, now that thing about it, like, you reminded me of a lot of Batman media that I have either watched or played in the past. Like, I was thinking about the Telltale game when you mentioned, like, when he went to see Carmine as, basically as Bruce Wayne, and that's kind of like when you get the choice where which one will do a better choice. You can either go and interrogate a thug as Batman, and I think it was the Riddler one, right? It was Enemy Within. I hear you, Tiger.
Yeah, it was betray Gordon and work with Waller to interrogate the thug as Batman, or you go talk to whatever that mobster's name was as Bruce.
Yeah, and
that's when you really see how much pull Batman has, how much pull Bruce Wayne has.
Yeah, and then you also get to see like that in the game as you interrogate the thug as Batman. You're more brutal. Like you said, he has more pull as Bruce Wayne because it's his social image. Batman is a untamed image. He can tap into it, and there's no control on him. I mean, yeah, there was Amanda Waller for the story purpose, but in truth, Batman as a character doesn't have control unless he's fighting. The only time he pulls back is when because, I mean, I don't want to get into the whole thing that he knows how to kill people, because he does, but he only pulls back on his punches of killing people, but he knocks them out and everything. So really, and his interrogation styles are brutal.
Watching the Batman, I really wondered how many people died from their injuries after fighting him.
You know, that is a good question. The other thing,
I don't care. He did. Batman technically still killed him. He was still doing everything, man.
yeah, that's true. But I want to discuss, like, what I want to discuss. I wanted to talk more about the idea of, like, Alfred being involved, because Alfred does, the thing I don't like about the Batman, the first movie, I can't remember if Alfred said anything to him about being a symbol or anything like that. I can't remember.
I don't think Alfred did give.
No, I think that was the citizens, just
just similar to how Alfred was in. I'm actually glad that Alfred has an origin story. You know?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Like, he has Alfred has an entire show.
Oh yeah, that's right. He does have an entire show.
And that Alfred has an entire show dedicated to him. Yeah, I like that. Okay, basically, what was I saying? Alfred is always served as the, I'd say, the angel on Bruce's shoulder.
Well,
most of the time, all of the time, it's always the angel.
I would say less of the angel and more of the voice of reasoning. I would say he's less of an angel and more of the voice of reasoning to Bruce, because there's moments where Bruce isn't.
I like that explanation better. I do understand. Actually, he is more of the like. I say that he is more of the voice of reason for Bruce. He's like somebody that Bruce will listen to more often than others.
Yeah. That is true. And the thing is, I want to briefly, because I know we had this topic before, I want to briefly talk about, like, I don't know if you saw the video I sent you about Alfred by Serum Lake, where, like, in each one of his videos on a character has, like, a title behind them, and for Alfred, it's father. It's father. And the thing about Alfred that I liked how he talked about, the moment he described in Mask of the Phantasm, and watching Bruce go from being, and I know this is a different movie, you can check it out if you want, Mask of the Phantasm is a good movie, but in that movie, after Bruce loses his loved one to basically because her dad, whatever, I don't want to go deep into the plot because that's a good movie, but after basically what was her name? No, not her name. Andrea Beaumont. That's the name. After Andrea Beaumont rejected Bruce's engagement, he decided to adapt the darkness of Batman. And after that, that's when Alfred saw Bruce go from a man of being able to have happiness into deep sorrow and reflection of the life that he didn't want Bruce to have. And I think that is the best. And when he said, "Oh my God," in that scene, whenever you can watch the clip, whenever you see that scene, it's not because Batman is scary. It's not because he's Batman. It's because Alfred is, what's the word I'm looking? He's in shock that Bruce finally chose this life. He knew it was going to happen, but he didn't want it for Bruce.
He was essentially, I would say he was horrified of, like, not only, like, the first impression seeing Batman, like, seeing the mask, you just see Batman in the dark, it was half of, like, just seeing the suit, like, oh shit, that's kind of scary, and then also being like, oh my God, what does my son become?
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. You said it perfectly.
I mean, like, his head, like, not only, hey, this is a terrifying image, but this terrifying image is my son.
Yeah, like, this is, like, because Bruce at one moment, and we even discussed this before, like, not on a podcast or anything, we were just talking about this, and Kuldar brought up to me that, like, when he was asking for forgiveness from, like, his parents and everything, he actually felt happy, and he said, "I don't." What was it that he said? He said it doesn't hurt anymore, and then,
Wait, hold on.
shoot, you got it, man. But like, basically, just that moment alone. I'm gonna keep talking just to yap, but that moment alone.
He said that. I'm sorry. Yeah. He said that it doesn't hurt so bad anymore. Like, like that was the famous. Was his. I'm sorry, I talked over you.
No, it's all good. It's all good. You were gonna say what I was gonna say anyways.
But basically, the Lightning Strike was, I guess, his guilt, and like basically, he was fighting his darker state. It's the last remnants of, like, I guess, with him fighting his darker side, wanting to embrace the darkness in a way. And Andrea his last anchor to his, to his
keeping him from becoming Batman, basically, from going on his crusade.
It was the last straw before he became the Batman, because right then, like, after he lost Andrea, is when he started going on his nightly crusades, and that is when it all started to...
There was something I wanted to backtrack a bit. I wanted to talk about Alfred a bit more, and how you could tell Alfred is happy that Bruce was able to find happiness. He felt proud that Bruce is going down a better life, but in that moment, I want to repeat that. That is such an iconic moment. If you've never seen it, I'm telling you right now, please watch it after this. Don't watch it now, but watch it after. Just that iconic moment alone, I have no words for it. It describes Alfred in so many ways. I feel like in moments like that, you don't need words to describe Alfred. It just shows his expression. You could tell in each scene, like, remember when Alfred walked in on them, like, getting sexual, I'm gonna say. He was like, he had a smile on his face for Bruce, and then he walked away. He didn't say a word, he didn't interrupt. He walked away because he was happy for his son. Mask of the Phantasm is a good movie. I do suggest it to anyone. You don't even have to be a Batman fan to watch it. It's just a really good movie in general. But, what up? Cool Dog, you still there, man? Where'd bro go? Bro just disappeared on me. But, what I wanted to talk about was, the Arkham Origins idea of, like, Alfred. Because there was in moments, because we were talking about how Alfred in this story could matter and how he's the voice of reason for Bruce. And I think Alfred, in a way, I don't know where Cool Dog is, I don't know when he's coming back, hopefully he comes back soon, but Alfred could be the voice of reason and telling him that he doesn't need to be this man of vengeance. Because Bruce knows he doesn't have to be vengeance, but he's obsessed with the idea of helping people as Batman, doing things as Batman. And not only that, that kind of has always been what Batman is, in a way. Like, there's been versions of Batman where Bruce does see that being Batman too much is over-exhausting him, but also he can see being Bruce Wayne as good help. And one of those examples is the Batman 2004, not the 2022, the Batman 2004 series. In Season 1 and Season 2, you can see how Batman uses Bruce Wayne and Batman to his advantage, and I can't remember what story it is. I'm trying to remember, but he had a date, like, Alfred set him up on a date, trying to get him to have more of a social life, and Bruce is like, how can I let someone in if most of me is Batman? If who I am is Batman, how can I let someone see the real Bruce Wayne? And in that moment, it tells you that he knows just as well that being Bruce Wayne is who he is as being Batman, but he still sees Batman as being a part of him. It's not a mask, it's still who he is. And I think that defines Batman as a character. And truthfully, I think that is one of the most well-human Batman characteristics other than the animated series. I know the animated series is human as well, but in the animated series, down the line, if you watch the whole DCAU going to Batman Beyond, Bruce becomes colder after the New Adventures. After the New Adventures to Beyond, he becomes a lot colder. In Justice League, he is even colder. I mean, there's moments where he has with Diana where, you know, they're a little friendly, whatever, but you can tell that he's in the moment of his life where all he sees is the mission. And in Beyond, he's a lonely old man where he's bitter and alone. And that's, in most Batman media, Batman is captured as the only thing he needs to be is Batman. He's only happy and content with being Batman and trying to go on this war of justice and crusade. That's mostly how most people that write Batman stories or media or anything see Batman. And truthfully, the reason why is because having a more human and grounded Batman doesn't make interesting stories. But in a way, you can still do interesting stories that way, but that's not what they're going to go for. I'm getting off topic. I just realized that, but I'm waiting for... I don't know where Cool Dog went. Bro, you back? Sorry, I was yapping because you were gone, and I'm like, I don't want to just stop because you were gone. But back to what we were talking about. We were talking about Alfred, and I told him about, like, I just think Alfred throughout Mask of the Phantasm, without even, like, needing to say a word, it describes everything that he is going through. He is like a father to Bruce, and you can see that after his shocked emotions to Bruce finally becoming Batman. And I wanted to also talk more about Alfred and how he would be involved in the story between Mr. Freeze or... Cool, are you there, man?
Yeah.
Bro, you are quiet as a mouse, man.
I'm watching, listening to you, also trying to make a big financial decision.
Well, what's the financials? Wait, is it private? Because I don't want you saying it on stream if it's private.
I'll show you.
Is it private? Let me know if it's private, because you don't have to say a word if it's
private.
All right, just whatever. Yeah, that's fine then. You don't gotta, like, I'm not putting you on blast. That's a... What's rock lights?
I'll show you.
But honestly, I don't know. I think there's a lot of ideas they could go with the Batman 2, in my opinion. All right, I'm gonna look at the... But I think there is a lot of ideas they could go with the Batman 2. The Professor Pig idea is a good one. And having Alfred being a voice of reasoning, if they keep that, because I think in the first movie he wasn't much of a voice of reasoning. I didn't see that Alfred as much of a voice of reasoning. I don't know. It's not a bad Alfred, but I feel like there should have been a bigger role for Alfred in that movie.
Check this out.
Oh, I see. Okay, I got you now. All right, that's cool, man.
Thinking about it.
Yeah.
I just got some money from my severance check.
You sure you want to make that financial decision? What if someone thinks you're throwing a rainbow party?
Well, I'm not gonna do it right, but I'm gonna do it like solid. I don't know, these are like really like clarity. I'm really thinking about it, bro.
By the way, if you're wondering what we're talking about, he's planning on getting lights for his truck, so...
Yeah.
So that's what... Just a side conversation there. You know? Nothing... But, like, I don't know, there's a lot of things they could do with the Batman, I feel like. They definitely... I feel like you said, they have to still go down a horror vibe, because that's the, like, kind of vibe they set from the first movie. And it can be emotional.
Set up Robin as well.
Okay, I hope that... Okay, I don't want... Okay, this is just me. I don't want Robin in a Batman story like this.
I hope they don't do it.
The thing is, the whole point of Robin back in the comics when he was first debuted, if no one knows this, the whole point of Robin was to lighten the movies. So if you're wondering, wait, I just realized something. That's why they made Batman Forever with Robin. Bro, I'm actually, I can't believe after all these years of all these Batman movies, I just realized that. The whole point of Robin is to lighten Batman. And Batman Returns was such a graphic and very distinct Batman movie that they brought Robin in the next movie. And originally, Robin was planned to be in that movie, actually. I think who was cast as Robin? Wasn't it like, wasn't like Marlon Wayne? It was Marlon Wayne, Batman Returns. I'm hoping they don't bring in Robin, because the thing is, bringing Robin into a world where it's dark and gritty, it doesn't make sense. The whole point of Robin is to lighten the mood of Batman. That's the whole point of Robin. I'm not kidding you. Early Robin was just to lighten the mood of Batman, make him less darker, make him less edgier. That was the whole point of Robin. Because down the road, I'm not even going to get into it, but down the road, Batman was starting to talk to himself and make jokes, so eventually they added Robin so it would make sense. That's literally the reason why. I just gave you a quick summary of why they added Robin into the comics. But, what are you looking at, bro?
Oh, wait. Is my thing still up?
Yes. Yes, it is. What are you looking at?
The best show ever, dude.
I don't think that's the best show ever, man. But
It's really fun. I've seen it. It's really good.
all right, man. All right, buddy. All right, buddy.
The show's really good.
All right, buddy.
Look at this thing. Look at the trailer.
I see them. They look like Fred the Flintstone. They looked a little bit like Fred the Flintstone.
It's not Fred Flintstone. That's Jimmy Falcone.
Wait, it is?
No, that's the name, because like it's the whole part of the show is like basically this dude raised his boss in the mafia because this dude was shooting Falcone. So then he wrapped his boss and they got moved to the witness protection. This is a cult.
Wait, what's the name of the show? What's the name of the show? Hold on, what's the name of the show? Why? Is that the name of the show? Oh, I thought you were like telling me to like fuck off, like forget about it.
No, it's like, forget about it. That's the name of the show.
Oh, I thought you were just like in a nice way telling me to fuck off.
No.
No, it's just like the way you said it, like, I got confused. I'm like, bro, did you just tell me to fuck off? Like, in the nicest way, you're like, forget about it. I thought you were saying it as in, like, forget about the show. Never mind. Bro, you can't be watching that on the stream. You're gonna give me copyright. I don't know if I'll get copyright for that. Don't forget, you're still on stream, buddy. Is there any... They can probably hear the audio. I don't know if they can, because I didn't. Wait, I have another question though. What other Batman villain would you want to see? Like, oh my god, what if they did Firefly? What if they did Firefly? Bro, what if they did Firefly? Hold on. The only thing is, I wonder which Firefly are they going to do. Are they going to do just the crazed pyrotechnic with flames, or are they going to do the one from the DCAU where in the New Adventures he was obsessed with a singer? Are they? Never mind, man.
Sorry, I'm going back on the call screen now.
All right. I was saying that, are they going to do the crazed pyrotechnic, or are they going to do... Not pyrotechnic, pyromaniac? Oh, yeah, maniac, that's what I meant. Or are they going to do the one where he's obsessed with a singer? That's what I was... No, the one from 2004 was completely different. I'm talking about the New Adventures, where he was obsessed with a singer, and he had a relationship with her, and then and she was just using him to up her career, And then basically what happens is she ends up breaking up with him and he became obsessed with her. I forgot, you haven't seen that episode. You haven't seen that episode, have you?
Wait, no.
Bro, you need to watch that episode. Firefly has become one of my favorite villains, honestly. Why did I just fucking do that? Oh, I'm gonna die, aren't I? Show? Oh, is that Shoyo? Oh, gotta be Shoyo. Alright, there we go. Alright, but I don't know, do you think Firefly would work in the Batman or not really, man?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a grounded villain. He's a grounded villain.
I'm trying to think about what would really work. I'm trying to think what another villain would work. You just think about it. They did it once with I feel like Scarecrow would be pretty good.
Holy shit, you're right. And if they can actually do Scarecrow justice, unlike the Dark Knight trilogy, you're right.
The reason I like really think about that is because of like especially after playing Outlast, I just think of like you remember that Ultra type stuff that I talk about, like hallucinations and all that.
Yeah.
Like LSD based stuff.
Yeah.
That is like goes you through that and some like really scary effects. So I mean, I probably wouldn't bring up, Project MK Ultra, but like something along those lines, like using that type of idea, that would, it's pretty grounded actually. It also would make for an interesting story if they did it correctly. They're both like, I guess, influential scanically. At least they're like,
Yeah, no, not that. That's doing too much. I think what...
I feel like would be more of a villain. More of a villain that uses that toxin type thing to achieve a goal, to achieve a personal goal.
You know what? You know what Scarecrow story could be told through the big screen? Because this is the only idea that, and the reason why I keep on bringing up the DCAU characters, because honestly, those are the best adaptations of characters. Even like the animated series is a better Batman than the Batman in the comics, actually. But if you think about it, the Scarecrow in the New Adventures, if you take the idea of him instead just using fear gas, but fear gas that gets rid of your fear, I forgot what it's called. There's a name for it, but I don't really care enough to remember it. But it removes your fear of what you usually wouldn't do, like something that you're usually afraid of. It removes that fear completely. And Batman's afraid of taking a life. What if, as Bruce Wayne is can't fucking speak! As Bruce Wayne is experiencing this fear, or this fear gas, he also is experiencing that he is a little more obsessive of being Batman and a little more aggressive. And he doesn't quite kill, but in a way, he's becoming more aggressive, and even Jim Gordon's noticing it, and he's wondering what's wrong with Batman.
Okay. I feel like something that would be cool is maybe instead of like Scarecrow, like Scarecrow making like fear stuff or whatever, but I feel like also giving people, if you basically give people some kind of chemically induced psychosis, where I guess, let's say, be afflicted would present with symptoms no longer like, I guess, confidence, you understand?
Yeah, I guess I get what you mean.
Like, just go through like violent rage, like essentially is how it would be. But like like I guess if I was trying to go somewhere, but the best thing to travel with would remember the scene from Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
Sean scene from Arkham Knight.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. The very beginning.
Killing each other.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's when it would be like the idea is like the person would totally over something like that. Because if you know the body's natural the body has a natural limiter put into it, which is only really unlocked when adrenaline is when adrenaline like the fight or flight instinct. Basically
Wait.
the body's full strength is not locked until the sympathetic nervous system is engaged.
Wait, cool dog. I have a question though, because every Scarecrow story always has a psychological aspect to either the hero of the story in some way. So what would in a way, because I don't, because there's many ways to go about it, but what would Batman's psychological aspect be if you were going down the route with Scarecrow as a villain of the Batman 2?
I would honestly say, because we've already seen like we've never seen Batman like be affected by fear toxin over a long period of time that didn't have something to do with Joker. So, honestly, if I had to say something,
Sorry.
basically Batman would have hallucinations like that due to remnants of the toxin in his system. I would say,
Yes, I'm on PS5. Sorry, man. Sorry, my mic. Sorry if my mic audio is bad. Yeah, I'm on PS5. Anyway, sorry, cool dog. I didn't mean to cut you off. Someone was talking in the comments.
okay. What was the question again?
I was saying, how would Batman deal with the psychological effects of the fear gas?
Honestly, I guess, like what I said, Batman would probably start dealing with his trauma, and he would start having psychotic episodes. Where I would say he would have, not psychotic exactly, but he would have episodes.
Would it be like a typical thing of like his parents still affecting him, or?
Like,
Wait. I'm gonna pause real quick. Someone left a comment. I think Batman will always be prepared for Scarecrow's toxic because he's fought. Okay, homie Joe, that's not what we're discussing. This Batman is still kind of new to the villains gallery. We're talking about the Batman, the movie from 2022. We're talking about how he would deal, because these villains are still kind of new to him actually. Like, yeah, no, this is like what? Isn't it like year 2 Batman, year 3? Yeah, because the Riddler didn't even exist when he first came into the movie. So we're talking about the movie Batman and how part 2 would go.
We did see the Riddler before we saw Batman.
Oh yeah, we did. You're right. Fuck, you're right. And then we saw Batman at the crime scene afterwards. Yeah, you're right. Shit. You know what? I think the opening. I like before we go back on topic. Oh yeah, he beat fucked big. I can't read the rest of the text because for some reason it's not popping up. I don't know. I can't read the rest of your text for some reason. It just like went ... But the thing I can't speak, man. The thing I realize is you just pointed out something. Seeing the Riddler first before Batman set the tone of the movie. It set the tone of a slasher. I just realized that because when you think about it, at the like.
No, actually, I'm wrong.
No, you're right. You're right. No, you're right. Actually.
I was saying, I was gonna say there's been no other movie that did that, but no, never mind. Joker from the Dark Knight trilogy.
Real? Oh yeah, no, but no. When you think about it, seeing the villain first in the Batman, it sets the tone of where the movie is going. It showed that it was a slasher, and wait, homie Joe is saying that his PTSD would be messing with him. I mean, well, yeah, that's true. Batman's fear is his parents, but I feel like that story has been, if you look at the animated series, I feel like that story has been, I feel like if to go down the Batman route, it has to be a little more deeper than just his PTSD. I mean, that's what makes him Batman. But I don't want to see that. I don't want to see this Batman in his his gravelly voice say, "I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman." I don't think this Batman would say that. That's like Kevin Conroy Batman. Can I just say Kevin Conroy fucking nailed that shit? I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. Sorry. Yeah, no, it would be way too campy, but like also, I feel like because I do think the animated series, the thing about Scarecrow stories is as easy they are to do, it can't be repeated. And his stories can be repeated. That's the problem with Scarecrow.
Honestly, I'd say that obviously the few toxins would affect that in the long term. Or like throughout the movie, that is when it would become like almost like the. I'd say the best thing is that his parents would be haunting him like The Shining.
What about that one episode where Batman was in the asylum, and I think like that was the longest time he was under fear gas. And basically he was in the asylum. And I'm trying to remember the whole episode because that was actually a good episode. I'm not gonna lie, like if you've never seen Batman the Animated Series, I'm gonna suggest it right now. Don't watch it right now. After we're done with the stream, you can go watch it. But check out the Animated Series. You could probably either watch it on it's HBO. You can watch it on either HBO or you could probably just find some channel. I don't know how you would find it, but that's just one of the recommendations you could find that show. But anyways, that's like one of the episodes you watch Batman go under the longest duration of the fear gas and see how long it's mentally affecting him. And he ended up crashing the Batmobile before he got into the asylum. That's how badly it affected him. He hallucinated and he thought he saw Robin.
That's what I'm saying, like, that is what I'm saying. Which is like, that's where the biggest horror aspect of Batman comes from. Of course, for it to work, and not be, for it to work, we would have to follow Bruce Wayne's perspective the whole time.
What?
Essentially, Bruce Wayne, if it was not for Bruce Wayne PTSD, so what would you call it? I think it would be like a psychoactive episode.
Yeah, but I just had an idea, like, as you were talking about that, I just had an idea. What if, okay, so, like, for the beginning plot, just a hypothetical plot point, what if Bruce Wayne was, because remember, Scarecrow first went after the college that fired him. He was originally a professor at a college. What if they kept that as his origin story, which makes sense, and Bruce Wayne happened to be at one of the, just like in the animated series, but not entirely like the animated series. He happened to, and this is him not as Batman, but he happened to be there with everyone else, and Scarecrow started to spray the fear gas in. And Bruce Wayne, since he may have had like a bit of a higher tolerance, he didn't feel it at first until later on as he's Batman in the middle of the night as Scarecrow's committing another crime. And then he slowly starts to hallucinate, and I don't know, you could say Batman, I kind of want Batman to have a intercom. So say he has an intercom, he's talking to Alfred, and Alfred sounded a bit like Thomas, and he's like, and then as Alfred's like trying to talk to him, and he's asking Bruce if he's okay, he's like, sorry, Dad. And then Alfred never heard him say that before. He's like, what? And he's like, I mean, sorry, Alfred. something, just something triggering, you know, and it slowly gets worse over time because he kind of just gets sad. Like I don't know, something they could do something with that. I feel like, and it starts off with him as Bruce Wayne, and I feel like in the second movie they have to build off of him becoming Bruce Wayne. In some way, Bruce Wayne has to shape as a person in a way, I feel like. You know what I mean? Because when you think about it, in the last movie, we got shown that, like, a lot of characters, like, talking to Bruce, and they're like, you can be more than just a face, Bruce. You can, like, the mayor of Gotham was talking to him, and many other characters were talking to him. And he just didn't believe in their words, thinking that all Gotham is corrupted, and the only way he could do things is by being Batman. At least that's cool. You still there, man? You quiet down real quick, man. You quiet down a lot, man. But I feel like that's like the best way to go about the story. I just think that Batman as a whole, like Bruce Wayne, needs to be developed in the story in somehow, some way. His identity as Batman, I feel like he can't remain the same. And if they do end up like with whatever villain they choose, I think they need to develop, and they don't need to develop Bruce fully, but at least like, but I don't want them to be like, oh, I need to drop being Batman, because that doesn't make him Batman. Bruce would not just stop being Batman. I mentioned this earlier when you were gone, but I was talking about how in the Batman, like there was one episode where he had a date night, and basically he's like, how can I let someone in if being Batman is also who I am? I don't know if you remember that episode, but yeah. Cool Dog, you there, man?
Yeah.
Oh, you're pretty quiet, man.
But yeah, I was gonna say, essentially, yeah, I believe that a lot of, it's just a lot of what I know about, like, what I've done in research of PTSD and everything is that there's a lot of triggers. There's a lot of, one of the biggest things, obviously, would be the exposure to flutoxin, which would do it. Just because of the amount of chemicals in the system. Obviously, it would basically, it would put him in a state of psychosis.
That would make sense.
Other stuff as in like what triggers PTSD. There's, I mean, that's something that can bother. That is something that can secretly bother Bruce, is like gunshots. Like pulls, like the sound of pulls. Like they are everything. All of a person's five senses can trigger PTSD.
That is true.
Something you hear, something you feel, something you smell, something you see, something you taste, everything can trigger PTSD. So if that's also like fighting the remnants of drugs in a system that would induce something like that, or worsen those symptoms, it would become like, you would start hallucinating. Like imagine seeing like in the, I don't know, when
I feel
it's his childhood, like he sees his dad, he sees his father's chair that used to sit at. All of a sudden, Bruce walks by. We obviously have actors first parents now. Like the actors first parents would be in this movie as well. When he walks by the thing, he sees like his dad is Thomas Wayne's obviously sitting in the chair reading a newspaper or something, and then when Bruce passes by the chair, he's gone. Or like when Bruce is looking somewhere and talking to Alfred, he sees his mother. Where he sees his mother somewhere, where he used to see her as a child doing something that she used to do, something like that. He might hear something from down the hallway. Like, he might hear pulls because his mother's pulls is the most important thing.
Yeah, that is true.
Hearing pulls would be enough to probably even trigger like some kind of episode, which would be something very. I mean, guess it would lead to Batman, into Bruce having to deal with his problems, which in a grounded world takes around. So it wouldn't just take the course of a movie. It wouldn't just take the course. It wouldn't just take the course of a movie. I wouldn't think.
Yeah, no, but I was also thinking the cool aspect of this is we saw how Batman would deal with investigating things and being a detective. This is in a way, this is also part of the character, because the thing about the Scarecrow is fear, Batman is fear. Scarecrow is a perfect, and the thing is, I've watched videos and stuff, and people have said that Scarecrow is Batman's scariest villain. Like, if you think about it, when you really think about it, Scarecrow truly is Batman's scariest villain, but also the ideology of Batman having to deal with the fear that made him become what he is. Like, I think that is interesting, and I'm trying to think of what also could be added to the plot, like what could make it. The thing is, I feel like Scarecrow is also another villain that could be well adapted into the Batman. I'm trying to figure out my words I can say, but I really do think, even like what you mentioned, like about how the five senses and everything like being triggered, that could make for great storytelling if they decide to go down that route. The other thing I was thinking about is, now I know in the past, like, the Riddler is inspired off of the I wanted to talk about. Do you want to continue talking about the Scarecrow, or you want to move on to another villain? Because I was gonna talk about another obscure Batman villain that isn't really used a lot, but could be used in a creepy way. And I'm either going to discuss the female version or the male version. The only thing about the female version is I don't think story-wise it would make sense. So, but also I don't know how it would make sense, because I feel like each Batman story, not that it has a lesson behind it, but it has a moral sense of how Batman would deal with something like this, and how insinuating it is that Batman's the opposite of what this could be. Like how the obvious comparison we all know is Batman is order and justice while Joker is chaos and anarchy. Or how Catwoman is basically, in a way, the temptress and the... I'm trying to think... Well, I mean, I know Catwoman isn't a villain, but in a way, she's what Batman could be if he took advantage of the trust that he has, in a way, when you think about it. And also another one is like Harvey Dent, where it's the duality of Batman's identities. It's like each villain, in a way, mirrors and reflects Batman. I don't know how Poison Ivy does. No one ever mentions how Poison Ivy mirrors and reflects Batman.
I know that is most commonly interpreted, or most commonly given, or written with dissociative personality disorder. I feel like that's a big explore. Explore is that they just used as a basis is like just mental problems, mental disorder.
Did you know there's another identity that that Two-Face took on other than just Two-Face? The Judge. You know what? I would love, but I feel like for the Batman universe, it wouldn't work because the Judge is a criminal that takes down and tries to kill all super criminals. So I think it wouldn't work. Unless you want him to go after mobsters, then I guess that works, but it just wouldn't. I mean, I guess that's the only way it would work. He would go after mobsters. It just wouldn't work if he went after Riddler or whatever if they're already in jail. That was the whole point of the Judge, that he would execute those that did wrong. And it's Two-Face's third identity, his ultimate identity, actually. And it just came back in a comic book. They just brought it. It was originally made for the animated series, back for the New Adventures. It's a good episode. It's not a bad episode. I can't remember the episode fully, but But also, it's after Two-Face has already explored the idea of being Two-Face. It's just another way of them using Two-Face. I don't know. The Judge is a cool idea, in my opinion. I like the idea that there's a third personality that he thinks could be the ultimate answer to everything. Just like how Two-Face was the answer to solving problems, that the Judge is the final answer to executing the problems.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's so interesting. I don't think I could have picked better words than that to justify what the Judge is. I was thinking Calendar Man, but I wonder how Calendar Man would work in the Batman universe.
I don't know.
I don't think his character would work. I mean, it would work in an active spect of the whole, detective story element. But other than that, I can't. And if they went down the idea of what Arkham City Calendar Man was, then they could go that way, but I don't know if they can really go the way where they can. I just don't think they can really do a good story with them unless, I don't know. Each holiday or something, they could do something like what was it, Batman Long Halloween. I mean, that's originally what the Batman movie was also based off of. It was based off of the Long Halloween. I mean, at least that's what it was said back then when the movie was being made. It was based off of the Long Halloween. But
I'm trying to think who else would work.
that's what I'm wondering.
There's some other villains that could work, but then again, like Two-Face.
Oh my god. Well, we discussed Two-Face. You know who we didn't discuss?
Who?
The ventriloquist.
Oh shit, yeah.
The ventriloquist would totally work when you think about it. And not only that, just like on Professor Pig, how I discussed how that idea could work, the whole point, like, other than Two-Face being another, the thing is, ventriloquist is also very similar to Batman, more than Two-Face actually is, when you think about it. Two-Face is more like two people living in one body. Ventriloquist is like a whole other identity, just like Batman. Batman's life is separated by identities, and so is ventriloquist. And not only that, but one identity is in control more than the other, which is the dummy. Which, in that case, the ventriloquist is the dummy to Scarface. I'm just wondering how that story would go, because that's more of a mobster story, if anything.
Yeah. I'd say, I don't know.
That's more of a mobster story. They would go down the mobster route with that one, actually.
I forgot that Penguin was a side villain, technically, to the story.
Yeah, he was. You know what's crazy? This is why I think the movie kind of was actually a before we talk about more of the villains, this is what makes me think that the movie actually is kind of rated R, because Riddler, I want you to, I don't know if I'm right about this, but I know McFarlane is more of a collector toy line, but if you look up Spin Master, I don't think they made one Riddler figure for that action figure toy line. I don't think they made the Riddler at all. They made Penguin. They made the Penguin. They made Cobblepot. They didn't make a Riddler action figure. I could look it up, but I don't think they did. I don't think once I have ever seen a Riddler action figure. I could be wrong. I want to look it up to see. I know I've seen Riddler for McFarlane, because McFarlane's a collector toy line. Now I want to look it up. I think I'm going to look it up real quick. So give me a minute, people. Hold on. Bear with me for a minute. Spin Master. I'm going to just have to look it up. Spin Master. Batman 2022 Riddler. Maybe I missed it. Maybe they did make a Riddler. Oh, wait. Did they make a Riddler? No, that's a custom. That's a custom. They never made a official Riddler figure for the toy line. Wait, did they? Maybe they did. Wait a minute.
I think so.
Did they? No, there's customs. And then there's this one I'm looking at right now. And I wonder if this is just like wait, it has duct tape and a weapon. Yeah, this ain't real. Because they wouldn't have put that with a kid's toy.
Hmm.
Is this real? Oh, it's concept art. Yeah, it's not real. They never made they never made a Riddler action figure for
And I thought things were gonna calm down.
yeah, no, they never that's what makes me think the movie is more rated R, because why wouldn't they make the main villain? Because the main villain was too much of a serial killer. So they couldn't make him.
Hmm.
They made him for the McFarlane toy line because that's a collector line. But if you look at the kids' toys, they only made villains and heroes that were more of a kid-friendly.
From what I could see, definitely ain't a good night to be a firefighter.
I didn't even realize this.
Most things.
I mean, of course, there's a Riddler in the regular Spin Master toy line, but in general. Oh, by the way, did you hear the news about how Mattel got the rights back to the took the rights back from McFarlane?
I did not.
So, and everyone's talking about it. It's like the biggest thing that's going on right now. Mattel's going to be making DC superhero action figures again, which I'm actually pretty hyped for because I actually liked their in like their 6-inch line because I actually was in height with almost every other toy line. I don't know. I'm a collector. I just like things that are in height with each other. But I'm getting off topic. We might have to call it a night. I don't know why. I'm getting tired.
Yeah. But, yeah, we can... We should pick up this discussion again. I do need to go to bed.
Yeah, no, it's getting late, man. But no, it was a pretty good discussion. Guys, go check out Big Tubby before he leaves. Go check out his channel. He has good videos up there. When was the last time you uploaded, man? But still, go check out his channel. Show him some love. I need to actually change the title of it because I need to put you as a feature on here. I don't know why I didn't do that. I didn't think about it, but now I need to do that. But yeah, go check out Big Tubby. Show him some love, and thank you for watching. I think I'm gonna end this podcast soon. We'll definitely do a part 2 to this. We'll talk more about this because this is actually an interesting topic, man.
Yeah.
No, this is most definitely an interesting topic. And I saw everyone else talking about it. Like, before you go, I saw everyone else talking about it. And I'm like, shit, we need to talk about this. Like, everyone else is talking about what should the next villain be. The movie's not even out yet, so there's still enough time to talk about it. But alright, good night, man.
Good night, miss.
Alright, stay safe, brother. Good night.
You too, man.
Good night, everyone. Good evening and good morning whenever you're watching this.